fucking kidding me? That would have been so insane. Well... Holy shit. God damn. 0.7 and first by 100. And I didn't even use extended hit window on the 6th act front end because it's such a piece of shit. Oh my god. So yeah, still a decent bit left on this. Man, I didn't use extended hit window on either of the 2 ticking acts because, well, Act 4, it's just not very lucrative. I'm essentially risking the run, and it's so far into the run that like the time investment just became not worth it for pretty much 1 tick. And this 4th act was pretty good. My best is 0.8, and this was 0.4. I've gotten that both with and without extended hit window, so probably at least 16 is possible there. And yeah, I just completely lost my ability to hit that 6th act front end with extended hit window. I was just red flaming it every fucking run, and pretty recently, this was actually the first run I didn't use extended hit window there because I'm like, this isn't worth it. This isn't working. I'm not getting any better at this. I've spent way too fucking long just not getting any runs past Act 6 now. But again, because that's a chord, there's at least plus 16 from here. This was a really good 6th act, even still. I think just about the highest I've gotten with the front end. Maybe minus 12 for my best pace. I just can't remember. Well, let me check that. Okay, this was minus 4 from my best, which was the 7:28 run that I choked on the last act front end. But to be fair, I think I needed to sacrifice more ticks for the last act than I did on that run because I don't even think the last act was possible with that whammy. This last act might have been frame perfect. Maybe could have pushed the front end 1 more frame through a combination of all extended hit window mechanics, but the back end was definitely frame perfect. And again, getting first by 100 on this is awesome, and I saw that I was on pace for that, so I'm really glad that I managed to not drop any in the outro. Another thing I checked was Act 3, if there was another note possible on there. I'm not entirely convinced there's not, but it was impossible in TAS, and at the very least, like Heart Full of Black and other songs like that, I didn't want to spend a bunch of time fishing for a fringe possible squeeze until I had a tick run that I was really happy with. So if I ever play this again, that would, I guess, be what I'd go for, but it's probably not possible. I don't know. But yeah, overall, this path is really annoying for 2 reasons. The first is just that the song is so long and there's so many acts, 7, and the early acts are just easy to forget to do because you just zone out when your only focus is on those last acts, and that's what you're grinding for, which is essentially the other shitty aspect of it, is that the only consequential acts are near the end of the song. So yeah, I only dropped 20 total for that last act whammy, and very surprisingly, none of it was between the green, yellow, and red, blue. So obviously can't say exactly how much, if any, you need to drop for that last act, but again, just judging by the front and back end review, this has to be like cutting it very close. And somehow forgot to mention the 6th act whammy. Wasn't expecting it to work this way, that you could use buffered whammy on that first orange. Like, just saving the ticks on the blue by using the extended hit window fret trick is a pretty big deal, but yeah, being able to abuse the buffered whammy on top of that is just pretty nice. So it's funny because extended hit window mechanics definitely played a part in this overall on the 6th act whammy and last act front end, which allowed me to hold on to slightly more ticks before the last act whammy. But I definitely didn't use extended hit window in the more general / obvious ways that you'd expect. So yeah, overall, at least 8 left on Act 4, probably more. Has to be at least 16 left on Act 6, and again, dropped 20 for the last Act whammy. So if you can get that without dropping any, then at least upper bound is probably possible on this. Just crazy considering the previous scores. Well, that whammy transition is bad. Still pretty good. Yeah, if I had transitioned from that blue whammy to the orange on time instead of late, I probably could have got a tick or two more off that last act. But that's a solid ticking run. It's only the second time I've ever hit that nearly ideal solo act. Shit is so hard, especially after the nearly ideal first. Yeah, I was a couple frames late on whammy. But also, it's not like I was gonna risk like a big last act anyway. It's first by over 500, which is awesome. It looked the same. The solo act looked the exact same as the first time I hit it. Pretty sure that was a frame perfect front end, and star power ended frame perfectly on the back end. It is honestly insane that both times I've hit that squeeze were A, after the nearly ideal first act, and B, I didn't choke afterward. That's crazy. And this run too, the break was even better than that first run, which is really surprising because this is the day after I uploaded the first record, the 340, and I haven't played this song in just over 2 months. So I did not have much of any recent experience past the solo. I must have dropped some in solo 2 and beyond, so let me do some painful review of that right here. Yeah, I dropped 8 on the first blue-orange chord after the second to last act front end, which is understandable because the notes following it are really close together, so you really cannot hold out that chord sustain and abuse the dynamic hit windows of those notes. And it involves the lower 2 fingers, and I can tell easily in review I let off the orange to drop that chord tick, which it's the same reason that I hit that last orange whammy late. It's just because when you're under heavy nerves like that, the pinky just does not want to cooperate, man. It feels like a spaghetti noodle. But I got the entire red-blue sustain on the back end, which is nuts. So compared to my best tick run, the 230-200, I believe I was minus 12 going into the last act, and that would mean that this was minus 12, which I'm pretty sure is the same last act I got on the 340 run. So yeah, this is very solid. Still a couple notable mistakes. Again, dropping that chord tick 8 points on the second to last act, and hitting that last orange whammy 2 to 3 frames late. But I really don't think I could ask for much better than this on this path. 230.4 is absolutely not happening.